Broadcasting live from the only establishment in town that can't kick him out. His own basement. The world, according to Rockett.
Yeah. As long as I'm not my birthday suit. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Sting? Yeah, bastard. That's funny, man. All right, hang on. Let me just do a little housekeeping here. Make this work better. Hello, Sting. Hello, Gray Bill. George Kemp, thank you. Happy birthday. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Sorry I'm running a little late. Had birthday dinner with the family, and that was fantastic. Something I don't get to do very often. Obviously, I'm not in Florida at the moment. I'm in Oklahoma, which is pretty much where I spend all my Christmas seasons. My family's in Oklahoma, so had a long drive from Destin, Florida to Oklahoma, 13 hours, straight through. It was pretty impressive. I was impressed with myself. Modern professionals, how are you? Thank you. Appreciate the birthday greeting. So, 23rd of December. It's weird to have a birthday so close to Christmas. But I will say, and I get asked this a lot, how did your family growing up as a kid treat your birthday differently? Well, I'm happy to say that they did. They made a very big deal about my birthday, and so it was like 2 Christmas days just a couple days away from each other, right? But then it's the whole thing, you grow up, you say, well, I wish I kind of had a birthday in July, to kind of break the year up, but it didn't happen that way. I just realized I have the blue glasses on tonight. Simply Tommy, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I left Florida on Wednesday, I guess it was. And I don't know, I got about 15 minutes down the road and I went, oh shit. I left Chewy. So I had to turn around and go back. I couldn't leave Chewy all by himself for Christmas. That wouldn't be right. Right? That just wouldn't be right at all. So how are we feeling now that we have bitched and moaned about our defensive secondary and how ineffective it is in most cases, and now they're all gone. They are all gone. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. Is that a calculated thing? Were they told to leave, or did a couple of them leave and then get pissed off and then the rest of them left? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what to think about it all. I'll give you a rundown here. So it all started with Warren Burrell was the first guy to leave. He transferred to Georgia Tech. Of course, he's a defensive back, right? Then Mo Clipper, Jr., I wasn't familiar with him as a player. Transferred to Charlotte. He's a redshirt freshman lineman. Then Mekhi Bigelow left, linebacker. Where's he going? Do we know where he's going yet? We don't know where he's going yet. Jack Luttrell, who played safety, he went to Arizona. Brandon Turnage, who was a defensive back, not 100% sure where he went to. Connor Meadows transferred to Tennessee State. He's an offensive lineman, redshirt freshman. Addison Nichols, we've talked about that on a podcast before. He transferred to Arkansas. Redshirt freshman. Tyler Barron is the big one. Defensive line, edge rusher. Ole Miss, going to Ole Miss. Really? Really? You're going to Ole Miss? Seriously? And then Danico Slaughter, defensive back. He's going to Arkansas as well. I don't know, man. Deshaun Rucker, defensive back. I don't have a destination on him yet. And Tamarion McDonald in the defensive backfield. He's transferring to Ole Miss as well. Unbelievable. What do y'all think about that? And how is it going to affect what happens on the field on New Year's Day? What the hell? Stingray says, I believe we'll be better off with the new incoming players. Stingray, I'm done shopping. Oh, Slim came in. Where's Slim? I didn't see him come in. Hey, Slim, how you doing, bro? Slim kind of scared me after I did my little Ole Miss prank. Slim threatened to take me to the train station, for crying out loud. What the hell? Slim, you got my attention, dude. Oh, yeah. So what are we thinking about? Literally, the defensive backfield. All of them are gone. They're gone. They won't be playing. Bob Franklin. Happy birthday to me. Ooh, look at the pancakes. Nice. The pancakes. I like that. I'm liking me some pancakes. That just made me really hungry. I just got back from dinner and I wanted to take it easy with dinner because I'm kind of a low carb guy and I have to manage. I've decided that I'm not managing my diabetes anymore with medication. I do it through food and exercise. And so occasionally when I come to Christmas when I come to Tulsa for Christmas, I kind of fall off the wagon in that regard, right? So I just see these, and we had a big birthday breakfast, and then we had a big birthday dinner. And my sister is just amazing. If y'all want to see pictures of the birthday celebration today, it was a pirate celebration. And if you want to see pictures, you can see that on my Facebook, which is Nash Rockett. Facebook, Nash Rockett. Y'all can go look at that. Add me. I'll add you back. But man, Bob Franklin just dropped the pancakes. Man, that looks good. Holy crackers. Thank you for that. And as I was saying, I have a piece of German chocolate cake for dinner, for dessert. Now that I've had my dinner, that I'll consume with a candle on it after this prolific broadcast. Simply Tommy says, I think the young players we still got and what we got in the portal, we might be okay. Now, I am unsure. I am unsure about the players that we got in the portal. They can't play in the bowl game, correct? I mean, that's my understanding. I mean, that would be great if they can, because we got two good ones. The defensive backs that we got are quite good, and I would imagine better than what we have. However, they're still inexperienced in our system, so I don't think they can play. But I think the young guys that we have are just as good as what we had. They just need some experience to play. Now, I don't know how that's going to work out. Simply Tommy, but that's why I'm looking to you for wisdom. The wisdom of ages coming from my crew. Let's see. Simply Tommy, I'm diabetic as well. I've been doing the same as you with the diet. Yeah, I just can't take. For 5 years now, I've just said, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna intermittent fast. I'm gonna eat a lot of beef, which is good. It's good for you too. And I'm gonna try to cut down on the carbs as much as I absolutely can. Except on my birthday and except at Christmas. Because, hey, look, let me tell you, y'all are probably are similar, probably, right? I grew up on peanut butter banana sandwiches, pecan pie, and Kentucky Fried Chicken on Sundays. That's how I grew up. And there's still a little bit of me that's like that. Pecan pie, German chocolate cake, Lord have mercy. And all the little cookies that your family makes at the Christmas time that just smell so good when they're cooking. Lord have mercy. Well, that's where I am right now. Just getting bowled over. I took handfuls of metformin this morning when I got up because I knew I was going to destroy myself tonight and today. Yee. Simply tell me, no, not in the bowl game. Yeah, that was my understanding that they're not available to play in the bowl game. But we got some good ones. I just ran through the ones we lost. Now I'll run through the ones that we got. This Holden Stays, the big dude, tight end dude from Notre Dame, looks fierce. He's awesome. I can't wait to get him in a uniform. 6'4", 242. Lord have mercy. Jacoby Thomas, transferred from Middle Tennessee State. He's a defensive back, but he's a big defensive back. 6'2", 190. Those are the kind of guys we need over there to hit somebody. I like that. And Chris Brazel from Tulane. Dude had almost a wide receiver, had almost 800 yards receiving and a handful of touchdowns. I think this guy is amazing. 6'5", 195. I mean, he's another guy like Dante Thornton. And particularly if Brew comes back next year, and then with these two guys, wow, it's going to be pretty impressive, I think. Wesley Walker was another one of the defensive backs that transferred out. I forgot to mention that bit. Holy crackers. They all just left. And I would love to know the story about how that all happened. They all left. Yeah, I'm anxious to see. Tommy, you're right. It was Nico that swayed this guy, right? Absolutely. He said, I want to play with Nico. Nico can get me to the league. So, that guy's awesome. Slim says the Iowa QB can't pass gas, they say, much less a football. So I'm not worried about the secondary. I'm not either. However, Tennessee has a history of making poor quarterbacks look like Heisman candidates, unfortunately. So I hope that's not the situation here. But that was the old guys. The older guys, I'm sorry. I'm sure maybe they are nice fellas. I don't know. But I'm sure their mama loves them. But they just weren't very solid defensively. Now, I think it's interesting. Everybody talk about how bad our defensive secondary is. And I think it's interesting that the whole secondary is now gone. And Tim Banks and Willie Martinez still have a job. Isn't that interesting? Am I just making that up that that's so interesting? I mean, what's wrong with this picture? So that kind of makes me think, with a mass exodus like this, it feels like, I have no reason to believe this, none, that it feels like they were kind of just said, you know what, maybe y'all should just go somewhere, or did, with Warren Burrell and Barron leaving, and McDonald, did the other ones just get pissed off? So, well, I'm going to go too. God, I'd love to know. I'd love to know what the hell is going on behind the scenes, man. And that's my big complaint about the Heupel regime. And I completely understand it, but they just don't let you know what's going on. They just don't tell you. They don't talk about it. It kind of pisses me off. But Slim, you are correct about the Iowa quarterback. Out of 127 quarterbacks in college football, in Division I FBS, that are rated with a QBR rating, he is 126. Okay, the scale goes to 100, right? You get a QBR, and what QBR is your effectiveness as a quarterback to help score points. The effectiveness of your quarterback play that leads specifically to scoring points, right? And it's on a scale of 0 to 100. Joe Milton, interestingly, is at about 71 as he ends up the season. 75 is considered really good. All right? So maybe he does have a shot in the pros. I don't know. Maybe he does. But the point is, Joe ends up at 71, and the Iowa quarterback is at is with a 22 and 176th place. I mean, that's just not good. That's just not good. Now, the bad thing about that is that Tennessee's defense, their secondary, or their scheme, or whatever, has a tendency to make really bad quarterbacks look a lot better than they are. So, Slim, 49% completion rate. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And I promise you that our defensive line, our pass rush, is much better than the below average winning teams in the West Division of the Big Ten that they have played. Hey, Perp, how you doing, man? Just being a birthday boy today. That's all I'm doing. I'm eating everything that I shouldn't be eating, and the only thing I haven't done is had the whiskey and a cigar, and that's probably later. So thank you for the birthday wish. I appreciate it. So now I got to share some stuff with you that happened to me on the channel. It gets interesting. I try to stay away from conflict unless people piss me off, and I'll jump in with both feet. So I was talking with this guy. This Iowa guy, trying to tell me I didn't know what I was talking about on the last video, and this is in the comments. And he was telling me that you don't understand. Tennessee is not going to be able to move the ball at all against Iowa. I'm going, you don't understand. We have the third best defense in the country. And I said, well, what you don't understand is context. You have the third best defense in the country in the West Division. 8 of those games that were played that you beat, 8 of those teams didn't have a winning record in the Big Ten. They didn't even have a winning record. And that's where you amassed those stats against a bunch of losing teams. Well, we shut down Michigan and we slowed down Penn State and Michigan. And I said, Penn State beat you 31-0. And Michigan beat you 26-0. You didn't slow anybody down. You idiot. And he kept trying to say, well, listen, I didn't say we were going to beat Tennessee. And I said, well, why are you wasting my time? He said, we're just going to stop your offense. And I'm going, no, you're not. You're not going to stop my offense. My offense, right? I own it already. Look at it. Look at me. What an idiot. And I said, Josh Heupel has been in a bowl game 12 times as an offensive coordinator or a head coach. 12 times. He averages 28.1 points a game. All right? And he's going to do the very same thing now. I just am offended down to my curly, skanky toenails when you tell me Tennessee's only going to score 17 points. Are you out of your freaking mind? Maybe in the first quarter. Because Iowa's defense is so scary. Yeah, we did that. We did that already, right? And so finally, I just had to... He just was attacking me personally, and it just pissed me off. And I said, you don't understand this. Bye. So I just banned the guy. I started listening to him. Actually, what I told him was, I said, look, obviously we disagree. We'll see on January 1. I said, but here's the thing. You were taking up way too much of my time. So if you post on this channel once again, what I'm going to do, if you post on this channel before like 6 p.m. on New Year's Day after the game, I'm going to ban you from this fine entertainment channel. And sure enough, he came back with yammer, and I just banned the guy. That's the only person I've ever banned from this channel. Pissed me off. And then another guy yesterday, and this one is still up. I didn't ban him. And I don't know whether he was a Tennessee guy or an Iowa guy. But his comment was, oh, grow up. And that just pissed me off, right? Look, I worked very hard for years in developing this channel. A lot of work goes into this channel. And for some dickhead to come along and tell me to grow up, I don't like that. So I just simply told him, look, here's an idea. My circus, my monkeys, if you don't like it, fuck off. So, haven't heard back from him. Anyway, people on the internet are just, it's something about being anonymous and not being able to be hit in the mouth for something you say. See, when I was growing up, you said something that was out of line to the wrong person, you'd get busted in the mouth, right? I mean, that's happened to people, right? It happened to me. And I was always a perpetual smartass, and I learned how to edit myself, and kind of be more, circumspect when offering my comments to people face to face, because sometimes people just slap the shit out of you, right? Mm-hmm. They will. Who else we got? Robert Duncan. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. Ban them bastards. Yes, sir. That's my new policy. Ban the bastards. Maybe I'll put that on my YouTube banner. Our motto, under the crest, under the Rockett crest, ban the bastards. Anyway, that's fun. So let's get back to the defense. What are we doing with the defense? What do you think is going to happen? Because, I mean, this is everybody in the backfield that has played. Now, how did that happen? And I'm sure the other channels are talking about this and guessing about this, and maybe somebody even knows about this. I don't know. But what have you heard? I mean, because it's crazy. I mean, we really don't have anybody that we've seen that we're excited about that we can call out their number and name because of their great play, with the exception of Ricky. What's his name? Ricky. Oh, what's his name? Ricky. I'll think of it in a minute. Somebody knows that. Stingray, you going to live stream the bowl game? It depends. If I'm back in Florida at that time, I'm going to live stream the bowl game. If I'm still on the road, I am not. So that's kind of up in the air. And the reasons it's up in the air is my brother-in-law is having some surgery, and I don't know. It's a couple days before the game. I don't know whether I'm needed here for that or not. If I can be helpful, I'll stay here, of course. And if not, I'll be scooting along. I do have to go. I'm going to go back to Florida through Nashville. So because I have a couple of doctor's appointments. I don't know what I mentioned. Did I mention y'all that I had to have an emergency triple coronary bypass about a year and a half ago? I'm kidding. Of course I did. And I need to go back and, just have some perfunctory checkups just on that, make sure everything's okay. So I might be going back to Nashville, hunker down for a day or two, and then head back on the road. So I don't know the timing on all that. So answer to your question, if I'm back home in Florida for the game, I'll do that. If I'm on the road, probably not, because I won't be able to. If I go to Nashville and I have to watch a game in Nashville, I won't have this. I'll have this set up with me, but it's just going to be, I don't know, too difficult to deal with in a car. I mean, too difficult to deal with on the road. Here at my sister's, I'm kind of cozy and I have my own spot, and, Teddy Strunk, happy birthday, Rockett. Thank you, Teddy. Hang on a second. I'm getting a... Hang on a second. Get out of here. And they're trying to run a scan on my computer. Shut up. Get out of here. Okay. Love your commentary. And those that don't can do what you said. Yes, sir. I have found in my life, now I've been around a long time, that one of the things that I regret in life is not telling people to fuck off any more than I did. So I make up for that on my channel. When it's warranted. Bob Franklin, Will Brooks opened up some eyes when he came in and was very dependable. He hasn't transferred yet. I can't pinpoint him. But it's going to be just a whole brand new defense, isn't it? I mean, they're going to be brand new because everybody that played in that backfield, they're gone. They're gone. And it's interesting that they're gone and the coaches aren't. Don't you find that interesting? That's weird to me. I find that very peculiar. I mean, I don't know what to make of it. And I'm glad Will Brooks, if he's, he hasn't caught my eye yet. But that Ricky kid, what is his name? Come on, help me. I'll go look for it here. Ricky Gibson. Thanks, Nick. Yes, Ricky Gibson. Now, he has caught my eye, and he's played well. And Jack Luttrell had caught my eye, and he had played pretty well in mop-up duties, but he transferred. The hell? So anyway, we got a lot of people. Now, here's the big thing. Here's the big thing, really, is Jalen Wright obviously has declared for the NFL he will not be playing in this game. Our 1,000-yard rusher won't be playing in this game. How is that going to affect us? Right? Wow. So we're going to see a lot of Dylan Sampson. Slim says, Hypo said he was pleased with the defense and ready to rock with what he's got. All right, I'm down. I mean, quite frankly, I think that defensive backfield needed an overhaul. I didn't know whether it was the players or whether it was the coaches or a combination. But it definitely needs to be an overhaul. I mean, I'm not panicked by that at all. I just think it's interesting. I'm curious about the timing and how all that happened. Were they asked? Or was it a spontaneous combustion, you know? I don't know. I think Josh wanted to upgrade the secondary. Maybe so. Maybe so. But I'm really curious and hopeful to see these guys on the sidelines frothing at the mouth, particularly these two a tight end from Notre Dame and Brazel from Tulane, the receiver, just frothing at the mouth. Can't wait to get on the field out there with Nico throwing the ball to him. I think we're going to see such a different Tennessee football team with that guy back there. I mean, he's a second and a half faster than Joe Milton to pull the trigger. And when he pulls the trigger, shit happens, right? Everybody agree with that? Or am I over romanticizing Nico Iamaleava? Teddy Strunk says, Slaughter going to Ole Miss pisses me off. Yeah, I don't like that. You shouldn't be able to go to the competition. And if you're allowed to do that, you at least have to give your scholarship money back and your NIL money back. Right? I think. But our pass defense has been terrible. Heupel is cleaning house and going with young players that are more talented. Okay, I'll buy that. I'm down with that. So we shall see. So we got a lot of advantages coming into this football game. And I'm excited. Slim says Wesley Walker lives in my hometown, but he won't say anything about it. I kind of respect that. Okay. I remember I was very, Wesley Walker. Okay. I was confusing. Okay. Hang on now. I was confusing Wesley Walker with Christian Charles. All right. Wesley Walker is number 13. Christian Charles is number 14. Because I remember when Christian Charles came on the scene, it was against Pittsburgh. When that year that Joe Milton was a starter, he got hurt and Hendon Hooker went in. And I was very impressed with Christian Charles. What do we know about Christian Charles? Is he still around? Because if he's still around, he was very good, I thought. Young player. Stingray, I 100% agree. There should be some regulations for the players who transfer. Yeah, there's got to be something that's kind of a governor for that. Like you give your money back. You give your NIL money back. People say, well, I'm going to go here for more NIL money. Well, okay, give us back what we gave you. And they're going to go, what? I spent that. Too bad. You ain't going anywhere. Simply Tommy, sorry guys, I'm listening and driving, but yeah, he's picking up more quality players, blue chip. Seems like he is. It seems like he is. You know, what's interesting is that he's doing it under the radar, whatever radar is. Robert Duncan, what do you think about the new transfer portal rules? Help me out. The new transfer portal rules. What rules are you referring to, Bob? Let me know. Now, I'm answering my own question here because it seems like I remember that Christian Charles got injured during the season at some point and was out for the season, maybe, I think. Let me just run a quick search on that and see. Because I really, really liked him. Just going to look him up. I'm not seeing anything that says he's injured. And I meant to, before the broadcast tonight, I meant to jump on there and see. Oh, yeah. Okay, that players that can transfer as many times as they want. Yeah, I don't. You know, the transfer stuff and the NIL stuff is going to dramatically change football as we know it. And as I talked about this on the last video, it's going to destroy the whole concept of team, you know. When you look at teams are always bigger than the sum of their parts. Right? You know, you look at, I used the example the other day of SEAL teams, you know. It's not about the toughest guy. It's about the guys that can gel with the other guys to become a really tough, what did the Spartans used to call it, a phalanx? Yeah. Right? You look at that, you look at a SWAT team, you look at a surgery team. I had when they wheeled me in there to do my heart surgery, there were literally, I counted, 12 people in there. 12. Right? And they were doing things that were prepping what the guys with the knives and the hammers and shit were getting ready to do to me. You know, and I went, man, this is like a factory in here. And that's the last thing I remember, and I was gone, right? Surgical teams. A team in a NASCAR. You know, teams are important, particularly at this age group. And that's when you have to learn this. You can't wait till you're 25 or 26 or 27 and learn about team. You need to learn a team when you're a teenager, or as I like to call them, a team-ager, right? You got to learn that shit then. And it's my observation and my opinion that that's what the NIL is killing, and that's what the transfer portal is killing. But I'm happy we're able to get our transfer people, and I'm happy that we have the best NIL people in the country. Okay, Slim, that's the second time I've heard the shaky pudding. What is that? The shaky pudding is hard on the heart. What are you talking about? What is shaky pudding? It's funny, whatever the hell it is. Shaky pudding. Is that something that I'm supposed to know? You know, and with regard to, right, Tommy, you're right. It does. It kills team and loyalty. And why that's important, sorry, the shaky pudding got me off. I didn't finish my point. Why that's important, the whole team thing, is because it transfers and it translates down to the fans, right? If we know that these guys are he's probably gonna leave next year anyway, right? I mean, why am I going to invest in loving some guy as a fan? I'm not going to like him as much. I'm not going to love him as much if I don't trust him to stay with me. You know, it's a quid pro quo thing, right? I'm going to give you my fanaticism. That's what a fan does. And I, at least in return, want you to be there for the duration, for the team, not just because you can get another $50,000 from somebody somewhere, because you're just going to spend that money and it's not going to mean anything to you because you'll spend it because you don't know how to invest that money and make money off it. And I speak from personal experience. Have you seen the movie Gator? Oh man, long time ago. I know it's a Burt Reynolds movie, but I'm not familiar with the shaky pudding. Curtis Cope, happy birthday from Ohio. Hello, Curtis. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I had a wonderful morning, had a great breakfast and birthday breakfast with family. And then we had a smaller family dinner, which was awesome. And when I'm done here, I have a big old piece of German chocolate cake with a candle on it. And then that's going to be the end of no, we still got Christmas Day, don't we? Yeah. So I'm just loading up on the metformin. If you were here earlier, I mentioned that I'm diabetic, but I don't take insulin. I don't take any kind of medication for my diabetes anymore. I just handle it through intermittent fasting and through eating a lot of meat. I eat a lot of meat and not many carbs, except during Christmas. You know, I'll fall off the wagon and have some fun during Christmas, and I feel like crap. I feel like crap right now just because I've got all that sugar in me. But I'll have some more tonight. Take handfuls of metformin, you know. Get me through the night. And tomorrow, then I'll do it all again on Christmas Day. But then I'm done. Let's see. Well, Slim, if you're not going to tell me the exact definition of shaky pudding, I am going to look it up. All right. All right, hang on. I'm going to... So I have it anyway. I'll watch it. I'll watch it here when we're done. Just so I can appreciate your humor, my friend. What if there was some set of rules stating players who transfer were ineligible to play for 3 or 4 games? Might curb some of the enthusiasm for bailing on your current team. Yeah, I think there needs to be some kind of governor or something that makes them go, are you really sure you want to do this? Kind of thing, right? Stingray. Tell him what that is. I'm blushing just thinking about it. Oh, come on, man. Don't be a big titty, baby. Tell me what it is. They're going to have to put a cap on NIL shake pudding. Shake pudding is a woman's private parts. Now, okay, the shake pudding. Is it all the private parts, or is it specific private parts, or is it the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere? Help me out, you bastards. What the hell is it? I feel stupid. I'm not a stupid man. Although I have played one on TV. Hang on a second. I got a new comment. Let's see what it is. Mike or Renee Alcott says the only way Tennessee gets 27 points is if their defense scores. The only way Iowa gets 20 points is if Iowa's defense scores. Turnovers will determine this game. No turnovers in the game, Iowa wins. Iowa loses the turnover battle, Tennessee wins. Okay, well, I kind of get that. That's obviously probably an Iowa person, and that's a reasonable comment. See, that comment doesn't upset me at all. It's reasonable because that's kind of how they've lost their games. Is they're horrible on offense and they turn the ball over in the red zone and people score. But the last time I checked, turnovers matter, right? If you suck on the offensive side of the ball and you can't score and you give the other team the ball and they score, that's part of the game. You lose. See ya. Right? You know, Slim, you and Duncan are acting like a couple ninth graders. What is shaky pudding? Is shaky pudding in the southern hemisphere or is shaky pudding in the northern hemisphere? I'm going to guess it's the southern hemisphere. Does anybody remember Shakey's Pizza? I remember Shakey's Pizza Parlor. I was just talking about Shakey's Pizza Parlor. I grew up in Memphis, unfortunately. Well, it was great back then. It's a shithole now, but it was great when I was growing up there. And I never even heard of pizza. Never even heard of pizza when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, until a place called Shakey's Pizza Parlor moved in. And I think, as I recall, that was even before Pizza Hut. And I don't know, it was after I moved away from home, when I was 18 or 19 years old and went to D.C. and then New York and L.A. That was when I found out about pizza. Except there was a Shakey's Pizza Parlor, I remember, when I was growing up. So I remember Shakey's. I just never ate there. I missed something and went to the John. Well, I guess it's all the shaky pudding talk that got you all aroused. You had to go to the John. Is that what happened? Slim says he's going to be quiet. He took his meds too early. Okay. I don't know. You guys. Me drinker Oh, me, drinker. Dropping the birthday brews. Thank you, sir. You know what? I would just thank you, Mead. I appreciate that so much. You know what? It just occurred to me that there's still time left for me to go spend that $9.99 at the cigar joint over here and have a cocktail and a cigar. And I'm going to do exactly that, Mead. Thank you, sir, for that. I appreciate it. Wow, nice. Appreciate that, sir. Okay, Mead, you got to weigh in. You got to weigh in on us losing our entire defensive secondary. Entire defensive secondary. Anyway, everybody that's played, with the exception of Ricky Gibson, is gone. They won't be playing. So, what's your read on that? Were they asked to leave? Or were they... Or was it just spontaneous? A couple of guys like Barron left and Warren Burrell left, and then everybody else got pissed off. Said, well, they're not going to be here. Kind of a copycat transfer portal kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So which was it? What do you think? And seriously, super. Thank you for that. So you're fired up about the guys. So my question on that is, I thought it was that they all left is interesting, and the two coaches, the defensive coordinator and the defensive backfield coach, Willie Martinez, are still there. I mean, that kind of makes a statement without anybody announcing any statement, right? Heupel is, he chose to lose the players as opposed to getting rid of the defensive coaches. So you think it's just kind of a combination of the two things, huh? Well, I'm hoping the youngsters can come in, most of whom we've not seen play. Again, like I said, with the exception of, I remember seeing two of the youngsters in the backfield back there. One of them was Ricky Gibson. I think he's terrific. I really, really like him. He's going to plug in and play nicely. And then Jack Luttrell, I was kind of impressed with him in a short mop-up time that he had, but he's gone to Arizona. He's not going to like Arizona. He's not going to like Tucson. Tucson is just, not good. And you're right about that. You're right about that, Meade. Brazil is going to be awesome. Going to be awesome. Now, again, the whole thing is, can we keep these guys healthy, right? I mean, I think Dante Thornton would have been awesome if we could have, kept him healthy, but we didn't do a very good job of doing that. But imagine Dante Thornton and Brazil, and if Brew comes back, and with Nico chunking the rock, are you kidding me? And I will say this again. I said it earlier, and I believe this. What I love so much about Nico is the nuance of his football IQ. He is a second and a half faster to react to trouble than Joe Milton is. And so is Hendon Hooker, right? So I'm hoping we're going to get a chance to see him. And Brazil was quite responsive when he was asked about, why are you coming to Tennessee? Well, I'll tell you. I'm coming to Tennessee because Nico is really good. Right? Right. So. Yeah. If these guys push each other in practice at a high level, look out. Yeah. So, anybody got opinions on I mean, we're all pretty much guessing, right? That Joe's going to play, right? Joe's not going to opt out here at the last minute. I mean, it wouldn't be opting out at the last minute because they would just be concealing it until the last minute, right? But if he's going to the Senior Bowl, he's going to play in the Citrus Bowl, right? Probably so. Well, let's see. The portal closes down, as I recall, on the 2nd. All right. So they got 2 defensive players in the portal already. And they're, if we are to believe such, they're pretty damn good, I think. Let's see, what was his name? I have it here. Jacoby Thomas and the kid from Oregon State, whom I can't find him right now. Yeah, I can't seem to find him. But we got 2 good ones. And whether or not they're going after more, I'm not sure. It depends on who they have, who the young guys are and what their opinion of them is, their assessment. Meat Drinker, they've revamped the secondary. We got some good guys now. Okay. Orange-blooded American. Thank you, OBA. I think Joe will play most of the game. I don't know why the coaches would change their mind now while Joe is still here and Joe will be practically playing in his hometown. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think so. But at the same time, I just can't see them not giving Nico some experience in this game, as opposed to having to wait until next year to get him some live action experience in the first game of the season. I just don't. I mean, he needs to get in there and make some mistakes and get the feel of a game with the ones so that they can have a look at him, what he does in a game situation with the ones. They have to do that, in my opinion. I'm going to be really shocked if they don't do that. And I think, and then when Brett Hubbs is saying the very same thing, and I didn't realize that until today. I caught an interview with him. He's saying the exact same thing. Austin Price is saying the exact same thing. And they are there, right? They're there every day. They're at practices. They're at the press conference. I pay a lot of attention to those 2 guys because they've been around that program a long time, and I think they have good information. They're not some clown like me. They seem to have an eyeball on the situation, and they both think Nico's going to get some work. And I think they should. Yeah, the Oregon State guy. I thought I had his name here, but I don't. And it's interesting. The other Jacoby Thomas kid, the guy from Middle Tennessee State. You might say, well, he's coming from Middle Tennessee State. Well, don't be surprised by that because he either transferred or was recruited to somewhere else first, and then decided to go to Middle Tennessee State. I don't know why. Is he from Tennessee, that kid? Let's have a quick look here. Transferred from Middle Tennessee State. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like this Jacoby Thomas kid. He is 6'2" and 190. That's a good defensive back right there, man. That's a big guy. Those are the kind of guys that can hurt you when they hit you, right? But I do like this comment that we got from Mike and Renee Olcott. The only way Tennessee gets 27 points is if their defense scores. See, I just don't think that's true. And again, I dropped this little nugget earlier. I'll drop it again. Heupel scores an average of 28 points a game in bowl games. In the 12 bowl games that he's been around, been in as an offensive coordinator and or a coach, he's averaged 28 points. And that was against a lot better teams and a lot better defenses than Iowa. Okay? I just don't believe the hype about Iowa and their defense. I just don't believe it because it's, like I said, I think it's telling. The context of that great defense that they have is very simply 8 of the teams that they played, that they built those stats on, 8 of them don't even have a winning record. Okay, so I'm just yawning on that. Well, did you see what we did against Michigan and Penn State? It doesn't matter what you did against Michigan or Penn State. You lost combined 57-0. So it doesn't matter what your defense did. Well, let's see. Oh, he's from Tullahoma? Okay. Or Chulahoma? Joe to the left, to the right, running up the freaking middle. Uh, 100% correct, Robert. I mean, people are just, the media is just in love. You know what? I don't know whether they're in love with the Iowa defense or they just hate Tennessee so much. That might have something to do with it as well. They just love to bang on Tennessee and find any kind of narrative they can. Oh, well, Tennessee's not going to do any good at all because you see how badly they fell. They're going to end up 9-4 in a bad year. I'll take that bad year anytime, right? You're going to run out of bounds at the best of them. Yeah, again. Oh, that's not being very sensitive, Slim. Seriously. All right, my brothers. I'm gonna go spend that $10 that Meade gave me on a cigar and a cocktail. That's what I'm gonna do. What are y'all gonna do the rest of the night? Are y'all most of you still, or the balance of you still have kids and do the Santa Claus thing, or y'all past that, or how does that work? They have been hating on us forever, for a long time. I guess ever since the Kiffin thing. For sure. I can't wait till we play Ole Miss again. I don't think we play them. They're not on our schedule this year. I don't know about the following year. Nico's going to scare the absolute piss out of people. He is. He's going to be a nightmare for people. If we can just keep the young Gosson from injury. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that. Santa and food prepping tonight. All right, brother. 2 grandsons. Nice. Nice. Yeah, well, I have great nieces and nephews, so it's going to be a wonderful Christmas for me as well. I love being able to come here. Okay, guys, Meade, thank you so much. Stingray, thank you for being here. Bob Franklin, thank you. Slim, as always, thank you for not taking me to the train station. Appreciate it. Y'all take care. And as soon as I know something, I've got one more video planned before the game. So between Christmas and the game, I'll get one of those up. And maybe even another live if anything develops. I want to. I'll update any kind of transfer portal stuff because that stays open until the 2nd of January. So, y'all have a great Christmas, and I will see you soon. And you're 100% correct, Simply Thomas. All right. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging with me for 2 seasons. Appreciate you. Adios now.